Hello everyone, my name is Maria and this is Knitting as Therapy, my knitting podcast, episode number 4, and today we're gonna talk about my recent finished objects, my progress on Celeste Sweater and Moby Slipover, some acquisition and plans that I have. We will start with the most noticeable one from my finished objects is what I'm wearing, and this is Moby Sweater by Petiteknit. This one was made with Visual Sicilia sock yarn. It's a light fingering weight yarn. It took me a while to finish this one because it's mostly stockinette, and I was like a little bit bored with working just with stockinette. It's a regular problem that I have with my projects. Also, the sleeves took much more effort compared to the body part, but I'm happy with the result, as this one was made without the additional strand of mohair that is suggested in the pattern itself. In the pattern it calls for fingering weight merino wool, probably it's Sunday by Sandnes Garn, and a strand of mohair. But as I wanted this piece to be more as a home wear, as I mostly work from home, so it can be like a nice sweater to have for wearing it at home without some additional mohair in it. It's not transparent, as you can see, but it's very light and soft. It's sock yarn, so it's merino nylon blend yarn. I guess it's self-striping yarn, but not too self-striping, so you can see that ribbon have its shape quite fixed well, but it was not stretchy, like too stretchy while I was working with the yarn itself. About the construction, so it is made top down with the raglan increases. The raglan line consists of 3 stitches, and with increases on both sides, I guess like on each other row mostly, so quite regular construction. Folded collar in 1x1 ribbon, 1x1 ribbon also on the sleeves and on the bottom part. If you already watched some of my previous podcasts, you may remember this sweater in the first episode, where I mentioned some issues that I had before with the Italian bind-off experiences with my sweaters. I had like several issues with it. One of them was connected with too loose Italian bind-off for alpaca yarn in my Egeo sweater that I talked about in previous episodes, and with this one, that was like another case. I had it made too tight, so I reworked it a bit. It took me some time to get prepared to frog the body part, to frog the Italian bind-off, because it takes some time to frog it, and then I made it properly set, and it was like the scene that motivated me to continue this one to be finished, and that's the result. I can wear it already. It's very nice and soft. I love the fit for sure. It's hand-dyed yarn that I was using for this one, and you can see that there are lots of color changes in it. There are like pink, black, purple, maybe sometimes blue sparkles throughout the yarn. Main color is like mustard, I can say, like something between orange and brown. Yeah, and I decided not to do some skins changing to have like better shape of these parts with coloring that was expected to be on the sock, as it's a sock yarn. So they look a bit different on the yoke with increases. On the body part it's also different, even on the ribbon on the body it's a bit different, and on the sleeves. So all of these parts, it looks like, if you know, there was several years ago a popular trend for hand-dyed t-shirts. It was called tie-dye, I guess, when you mix several colors and put a rolled t-shirt inside of this liquid to have like different colors on your t-shirt. I consider this one something similar to that idea because, well, generally it looks not as a regular plain sweater. And on the sleeves ribbon, it was the best option of these color changes because it was changing like row by row regularly, so no need to do something with it from my side. That was also a good result, and I'm happy with it for sure. So this one is blocked and ready to be worn. The next finished object, and also the reason of me not having lots of progress on my other whips, is more like improvised sweaters. So in the previous podcast I have already mentioned that I got a request to make an orange sweater with an interesting ribbon, and here it is. That's how it looks. Maybe I will add also some additional video of me wearing it, but I am making this one for a bit for a person that is not so tall as I am and not so long hands as I have, so it will look a bit different. It's a drop shoulder construction. So I started on the front panel and started with a crochet cast on. So on the crochet strand I started knitting, then I frogged those crochet row that was made with some like other yarn, not this one. I frogged that part and pick up stitches and continued working, so it's just seamless now, so you can't see where I started the sweater on the front panel. Then I moved from front to back. There are interesting nice increases on the front panel for the collar. You see, collar was added a bit later in 2x2 ribbon here. This one also, I forgot to mention, is made in Sunday by Sandnes Garn. It's 3819, I think the number of this color is, so it's quite orangey, but with some lightening it may look a bit red. Yeah, so moving on, then I moved to the back panel. Here are some short rows for the back shaping, also some increases for the collar itself. And the most interesting part here is the ribbon. I will add maybe some additional photos of it. That's how it looks. And we have the same ribbon on the sleeves. So this one was made, as well as my Monday sweater, this one was made on 4mm needles for the body part and the sleeves. The collar was made on 3mm needles, and the ribbon, both on sleeves and on the body, was made on 3.5mm needles. To have this ribbon look like so relaxed, after I completed the body part, for example, or the sleeves part, the main part, before starting the ribbon, I changed the needles to the smaller size and added some amount of stitches that was needed to make it a bit wider. So to not make these smaller needles to influence the shape of the sleeve, to not make it so like balloon-like, as for example for Moby Slipover. You can see it's a bit wider, and then the ribbon makes it like to look like a balloon sleeves. And here it's more straight. This one is not blocked yet, so the look is not like perfect, but still I have steamed it a bit before showing it here, so you can see that the sleeve has more like smooth transition from the main part of the sleeve to the ribbon part. And in the end there is just a regular 2x2 ribbon, as you can see. But these additional stitches that I casted on made this look like a straight part for the body and for the sleeves. This is it. I think I'm considering making the same one for myself, but maybe a thicker version of it on some bigger needles, maybe some chunky option, because this is very light. You can see it's very drapey and light one, and the yarn itself, at least before blocking, feels really dry. I think I have called it something like Zestful sweater. You can find it on my Ravelry page. I have already added some info on this one there too. My Ravelry page will be added in the description below for sure, so you can find some details there as well, maybe some more detailed photos. Yeah, and this is it for the drop shoulder one, and the main focus and priority since the last episode of my knitting podcast. The next finished object, two pieces, that's DK weight socks with fish lips kiss heel. I was making this one for the first time. This sock was inspired by Mountain Walk Socks Chunky Edition by Florence Miller. I don't like making the socks like top down, I like making them toe up. That's why I was looking for some other pattern and found a free one on Ravelry called like perfect or basic socks, basic bed socks. I will add it here in the description as well. So this one was made on 3.5mm needles and with Alize wool time yarn. It's DK weight, as I already mentioned, so I will show some details here for you. Also, maybe we'll add some photos that I already have. I have also posted some photos of these socks on my Instagram page, so you can check maybe some finished objects faster there, because I can't wait to share the results most of the time. So it's toe up with increases, and then I added some cabling through the whole sock and 2x2 ribbon here. Nothing on the back except this fish lips kiss heel. What I can say, I need to test these socks. I will share some feedback after wearing it more, because previously I was making on my socks mostly slip stitch heel. That was like the first try of short rows, adding, so I hope it will last long and will not influence the strands of the socks itself. Maybe I will try to wear them with the shoes, probably not, but to test the yarn itself and this technique of making the heel. We will see. And this was it for all of the finished objects that I have for today, and we can move to works in progress. As I've already mentioned, I was prioritizing a lot this orange sweater with 2x2 ribbon that I finished already. It's just waiting for the blocking. I was also sharing the progress with the recipient, so I was focusing more on the Monday sweater, and that's why I don't have lots of progress on my next work in progress. That's my Moby Slipover. Can't tell a lot about the progress here, only maybe a few rows were added. This one is made on 3.5mm needles, and as I needed these needles for other projects I was working on, I didn't have much progress on my Moby Slipover. I can add that I'm making this one with 100% superwash merino wool yarn with one strand of alpaca silk. Setasuri, something like this. So probably this one will wait a little bit to get some work done. The next work in progress that I have is my Celeste Sweater. As you can see, for the body part I have already completed the stockinette, and currently I am working on the ribbon here. I've joined the knit along with other girls that are also working on this sweater. All of us are making this in different colors, different yarns as well. Mine is made with Sunday by Sandnes Garn Hold Double. For the color work it's 4.5mm needles, for the stockinette it's 4mm needles, and for the ribbon is 3.5mm needles. So, and for the collar it was probably 3mm needles if I'm not mistaken. Collar is made with tubular cast on, then we move to the color work itself, separate the sleeves, and when the color work is done you can just get to some regular sweater that you can be familiar already with, just some simple stockinette. Same for the sleeves. I think it will take me not lots of time to be done, so looking forward to others from the knit along to have some progress on this, so we can discuss and share more about this Celeste sweater. I have also described more in my previous podcasts about the color selection that I had. Also, numbers of the colors will be added in the description below about this, about the Sunday colors that I selected for my Celeste sweater. And we are moving to plans and acquisitions. I was looking forward for and watched lots of knitting podcasts sharing their experience with different mohairs. There are like lots of different options. For me, like the perfect option in case I needed to add strand of mohair to my project, I was considering and liked more to use alpaca silk yarn, so baby alpaca with a silk blend. same length, same weight as mohair, but with alpaca. But it's a bit hard to find this option in different colors, in like a variety of different colors. So I heard lots of positive feedbacks about knitting for olive mohair or isager mohair, and we don't have options where to buy it in Ukraine, and also it's quite hard to order it. For example, knitting for olive, I know that they have like free delivery for Europe for some big orders, like for €100 orders, I think. But I don't need so much mohair, and also I wanted to like try it a bit before ordering such a big amount of yarn. But I mentioned it in one of the previous videos and noticed that one of the stores that I buy yarn in, like online store, proposed only one shade of knitting for olive mohair. It's a dusty sea green. Don't know if you will be able to see the color properly, but I like greens in general lately. I have in plans to make sweater number 15 in green. I already mentioned this before. Also, I'm going to make a Berlin scarf in like dark green color, but this one is like olive, I would say, so I can mix it with some color of, I've checked on the Knitting for Olive website, Dusty Artichoke is also available, so I can mix this one with greens, with bluish colors, maybe even with some dark gray. I got 8 balls of this one, more than enough for some cardigan or something bigger, I don't know, long sleeves with a full length. So I'm really happy that I received it, that I managed to cut this one, because I just bought it and after me like several people were trying to buy it as well, but it was already sold for myself. There were only 8 balls of this one and I got them. Currently I am looking for some options of merino wool maybe, or cashmere probably, stock version of cashmere, because it's much cheaper for me to buy. Maybe I will make some cardigan using this mohair. I'm considering my options for now, monitoring. Maybe some spring released patterns will inspire me to use this shade of mohair for my next project. And the last for today that I have to share, we also, so recently it was really active in knitting community here. We had a chat for YouTube knitters who have their knitting podcasts. Also, we have some chat with Knit Alone for Celeste Sweater. So lots of activities going on with knitting, and in the chat for YouTube knitters, we decided to create some like unity blanket that we can sell for charity, of course, that we will create using some big amount, I don't know for sure what's the number, of granny squares or just regular squares. So I have such yarn, it's cotton acrylic blend, it's very fluffy and soft. I was using it mostly for toys, and I'm going to create some squares using this yarn. It's like chunky enough to create something nice, and that will not take like lots of time. I have to create 4 different squares. They probably should be like 8 by 8 inches or 20 by 20 centimeters, quite big squares that I have to create, and they should be ready in 2 weeks, more or less. So I'm currently monitoring my ideas. Maybe I will make some knitted option or some crocheted ones, I don't know. But I'm ready to be part of this interesting opportunity. I will share also the progress and the results, how the final blanket will look in my Instagram for sure. So you're free to join. And this is it for today. Leave a like if you liked the video with my progress. Leave a comment if you're working on something similar here, and follow for more videos and looking for some progress that I have with my projects. See you, bye bye.